Welcome to another edition of Play Well Live. It's good to see everybody and be back again. Yesterday, if you missed it, we did a fun little build where we built some creatures and animals and little dogs and things out of 1x plates, which was really fun. And so check that out. And also, I shared a bunch of pictures from some people who have been building and tagging their builds to play well at home. And some people have been doing some amazing things, and it is so wonderful to see what everyone's been building and have a little bit of that feedback of what people are doing at home. So thank you for those of you who shared. And I did want to share one more today while we're waiting for people to hop on. Is yesterday I saw a video from Arlen, and Arlen did this. He tagged this, and it says after he watched one of our shows, he made an electric plant, which is pretty neat, and he worked really hard on it. If you want to watch a video of Arlen explaining his electric plant, it's pretty neat. But it had all kinds of rocks and bridges and water pipes and all kinds of things. So Arlen, thank you for sharing that with us. It was really cool to see. So today we are going to think about building. I added a second level to the treehouse, and if you can hang on to the end of the video, we are going to go outside, even though it's raining, and we're going to check out the most recent addition to the treehouse. Now, first thing what we're going to do now. Hi Hunter, hi Mike, miss you guys. And Hunter, your treehouse is beautiful. I saw your treehouse, and I saw the 3 beautiful sticks coming up from the board, and it looks great. And I have not forgotten about your doggy that you want to put in our treehouse over here. So we'll be thinking about you. Now, to add our second level of our treehouse, we have to think about something strong that's going to hold up our second level. And so we're going to look at some shapes to start with. Now here is a very strong shape. It is a square. And if I push down like this, you can see, if you push down like this, maybe a square is not so strong. What happens with a square, as you can see, is if you push side to side like this, that's called a shear force. A shear force is when something pushes like this, almost like you're rubbing something like this. And if you could see, if I push this top that way and this bottom that way, what happens to my square? Yes, it can collapse and fall. Hi Ben, hi Nolan, thanks for hopping on. So let's see if we can make this stronger. I want to see if anybody knows. You can put it in the comment if you know what this shape is. Maybe it'll be stronger if I add another side to my shape. Anybody know what a 5-sided shape is called? It is called a, well, let's see how strong it is. While I'm waiting to see if anybody know what a 5-sided shape is called. It kind of looks like a house. Houses are usually strong. Let's see how strong this is. Ooh. This is even worse. It's flopping all over the place. This is not very strong. So this shape is called a pentagon. And a pentagon is a 5-sided shape. And you can see, even though these are all attached together in the edges and the angles, and these won't bend, they can all pivot around each other, and it gets all floppy and crazy. All right, Christina, you got it. Now, here is the magic shape. The magic shape that we are going to be talking about today. A triangle. Now, if I push and bend and pull like this triangle is not going anywhere. Now, I haven't glued these corners. I haven't glued them. If I go like this, I can still bend these around, but what cannot move is these rigid pieces here, these beams that I'm holding. And as long as these are strong, a triangle is the simplest shape that can stay steady and not change around at all, as long as the main parts of it, the main bars of it, are strong. You don't have to glue or the corners. The corners can still bend, but as long as they're attached like this, it's not going to go anywhere. And this is called, thank you, Aloma. This is called a truss structure. A truss structure, you might have seen it in Ventura where I live. There is a bridge that trains can go over the freeway, and you can see a lot of triangles or truss structures keeping that thing strong. And when you have something like this, it's got a hole in it, like a frame, you can make really, really strong structures and not have it be too heavy or too, too solid. You can make a really strong frame. So we're going to look at a few ways that we can build these. So one way, and this is something very similar. Ellie, that's exactly right. That is why a lot of bridges are built with triangles. That's exactly right. And now you know it's called a truss structure or a truss bridge. Now, what I'm going to do, and you may not have these. If you don't have these Technic beams, don't worry about it, because later I'm going to show you a new trick that I figured out that does not even use any Technic beams, and it can still use trusses, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some little pins in here. I'm going to put one pin here in the second hole, and I'm going to add my first little beam. It's a 5-hole beam here. Now on my top beam, I'm going to make another one up here, and I'm going to start to make some triangles that's going to look a lot like the bridges that maybe we've seen. So on the top one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a long pin that's going to go all the way through. What that's going to allow me to do is this. I'm going to attach one side of that long pin to this beam like this. You can see, is it strong yet? No, it's just an alligator mouth. Can't do anything yet. Okay, it's not strong. I have no triangles, no trusses yet. Okay, but if I add another pin down here, and watch, on the other side, I'm going to make my first truss, my first triangle. Now, this can still bend. I need more triangles to stabilize it, but right here, if I push down really strong, that thing's not going anywhere. That thing's very, very strong. So now let's continue and add some more triangles and see what happens. So I'm going to go like this, and with the shape that I'm doing right now, I'm skipping 3 holes. Now I added one more beam here, and you can see now, how many triangles do you see? 1, 2. Now you could see it's getting steadier and steadier the more trusses that I add. And some of you might see that this actually does start to look like a train bridge, like some of those bridges that you might have seen, a truss bridge. So if I keep adding these and keep adding these, then I end up with this really cool kind of zigzag shape like this. And I've got a beam on the top, a beam on the bottom, and all of these little beams here making all these triangles. And you can see some are right side up, some are upside down. You can see how they all are, and this is very, very strong. So you could see if I had a bridge with a train, or if I wanted to make something by putting these spanning a distance like this for a building or a second level of a house or something like that, this is going to make it very strong, so that if you put a lot of force right in the middle, it's not going to collapse down the center. So that's one way we can use trusses. Another way we can do it is by making kind of like an X shape. So I'm going to show you another cool thing that we can do. So again, I'm using Technic beams for one more here. If I take this is an 8-stud Technic beam. It has 7 holes. I'm going to put 2 pins in the bottom like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on this one. And actually, I forgot. I want to put one facing one way, one facing the other way. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an X. So I'm taking 2 long beams, and I'm going to go, now it's a Z. Now I'm going to go like this, and on the other side, I'm going to go like this, and I've created my X. Now, look at this. Very strong, right? Whoa. We're moving. Why is this not strong? I've got my 2 triangles, but what is happening? I'm able to still kind of pivot and bend. So what I need to do is my points of my triangles are fixed here, 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 and here. But is this middle point fixed? Not yet. And so what I'm going to do is just take an axle, stick it right through the middle of my X, and that fixes all the 3 points of the triangle. And now I am solid, and this thing is not going anywhere. And this is a cool little structure, because if you want to go high up, you can simply take 2 of these, stick them on, and now you've got a you've got kind of a second level with just a few pieces. In some of our online classes we've done with kids, we've had a skyscraper or a tower challenge with the pieces they have at home. And using frames like this is a way that you can get strong and get really, really tall quickly without using as many pieces as if you made like a solid brick building. So this is another example of a truss you can use here. Now, here comes the cool part. I found this out yesterday. This is a way that you can make trusses with no Technic pieces, which is really kind of a weird way to do it, but I think I wanted to show you all very quickly and see if you can maybe do this at home. What it does is it takes some kind of plate. It doesn't have to be as big as these. It takes these pieces, and it doesn't have to look exactly like this size. There's different smaller ones and whatever, but it's the ones that are bricks, 1x bricks with studs on the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 of these on the bottom of this side, and I'm going to put 2 of these on the top of this side here. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both sides. And then again, we're going to try to make kind of like a second level, which is similar to what we've got going, what we want to do on our treehouse outside. And what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to take some long, skinny 1x plates. And I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go up and up, facing up to the sky, and I'm going to do the same thing again on the other side and add my second level, a very, very weak, very, very pitiful second level. It's not going to be very strong. Let me see. Now, there's a reason why I'm doing the spacing that I'm doing right now. You'll see I did a weird spacing where the distance between my vertical plates are 3 studs apart. Can you see there's 3 studs in between on the top and bottom? And that's really important because when you're dealing with triangles, if you don't get the right shape or the right geometry, things don't line up with Lego and it doesn't really work. So you can see here, does anybody remember the force when you push things side to side like this or this? Does anybody remember what it's called? See if you can remember, but watch. If I go like this and I push side to side, what happens? Is that a very strong second level? Not at all. Oh my gosh, things are falling apart already. So what we need to do is we need to find a way to add some triangles or trusses to our structure. My poor structure's falling apart. Okay, so in order to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to add some more plates. And in this case, we're going to use 1x6 plates, okay? Newton's law. That is not real. It's maybe related, but the forces when you push back and forth, it starts with a SH sound. Do you remember? We'll see if anybody can remember that, all right? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 1x6 plates, and what I'm going to do, let me do it first. I'm going to maybe add one down on anywhere you want on this long plate, and if the geometry fits perfectly so that you can make kind of a diagonal like this. And what I'm going to do is take another 1x6 plate, and on the back of these plates, I'm going to attach it perfectly there too. So now I've got kind of like 3 trusses. I've got one in the middle that's clearly, you got it, Mike. You got it, Mike. Shear forces. Shear forces are when you push side by side like this. And what I'm going to do is put the same thing on the other side, and let's check if we can withstand some shear forces with our new structure. So now watch this. If I go push side by side, I'm kind of doing this gently. Now it's not doing it anymore. Now this is much stronger because I've put some plates on there and I've made some trusses. Now, if I did shear forces this way, what do you think is going to happen? Oh, it's not very strong this way. Shear forces in this direction. So you guessed it. If I want to do that, all I do is add one more set of trusses on this side. And then hopefully that will help. So these were some different ways that you can build trusses at home, and hopefully you can see kind of the magic of the triangle shape and that it really helps us. Let me see if I can fix this out. How does this one go? All right, got this one on. And now I've got my other set of trusses on this side. And so now if I push this way, or this way, I've got a much stronger structure. So Amber, yeah, shifting is close. It's actually shear, and I believe it's spelled S-H-E-A-R, shear forces, okay? When it goes like this, I think it's related to like shearing a sheep, right? Is that spelled the same? I'm not really sure. Anyway, so we've looked at some different ways. Now, if you have a choice, Technic Lego is much, much stronger than doing your trusses out of plates. But I know that at home, not everybody has a lot of Technic Lego. So you can see, I wanted to give you some different examples of how you could do it. So we're going to go out really quick and we're going to check out the treehouse. I think the rain stopped briefly. There's been some additions to it. We have added there's a second level that uses some truss structures to help make sure it's really strong. We're going to go look at it, and then I want to make sure everybody still, don't forget to comment on these videos if you want to add more stuff to the treehouse. We're doing this together. I'm only going to add something to the treehouse if it comes from you. That's it. And hopefully we can learn some fun stuff along the way. So let's head outside and check this out. It is raining. It is raining. Here we go. Now, can everybody see? We've got a new second level to our treehouse. We've got one of our builders is hanging out under an umbrella upstairs. Don't worry, she's relatively dry. We've got some people hanging out. Can you see the truss structures going up? The truss structures are supporting that second level, going all the way up here. The second level is very boring. I like the dragons, Ben and Nolan. I've got some dragons for you. The second level, there's nothing on there yet. Now, how do we get up there? Remember, this is our balcony and our plant from before. Now, if we go around here and we look around here, we've got another balcony and a ladder that goes to the top. We've got the branches going through. I think it's very important if you make a tree house in a real tree, you don't want to cut any of the branches if you can help it. So you can see on this side, their branches are shooting through the tree house, and there's openings where the branches can go through. And inside here, I don't know if you can see, but there is a staircase. Oh, it's too hard to see. There is a staircase that goes up on the inside to this balcony and then up to the top level, which is just, right now it's just a roof, but my second level is ready to go. So think about more additions to this treehouse that we can add later. I want everybody, a third level Burger King. Samuel, that's awesome. We're going to do it. I don't know, but we're going to find a way to add a Burger King somewhere up there. So I want everybody, I'm getting wet. Have a wonderful weekend. Actually, I might see you tomorrow for another Facebook Live little mini session. So keep your eyes out. We might pop in there at 10 o'clock on Pacific time to do some extra ones when we can. Otherwise, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much and have a good day.